Yep. Here we go. Got it.
I'm okay. I found a spot to hide.
Gregory, Helpy, and Vanessa chilling. Okay. And now it's all happy. That was weird. So Gregory was like, I'm fine. Gregory's like, yeah, we're all chill here, and then... Okay, but that was like obviously like glitchy. Like it was obviously not fully... It wasn't fully like real. I assume that's what's actually happening though. Like, you know, like as Gregory says, you know, we can't be followed, and he says we. I'm assuming he means him, Freddy, and Vanessa. Dude, I saw a flame war happening in the comment section of some community post about which ending is canon. About people like screaming. They're like, no, the Afton ending is canon. It says true. It has to be canon. And other people being like, if you just look at the evidence, it's not. But they're like, no, you know, they're like, no, it has to be canon. Like, well, it says true ending in the source files or whatever. It's like, bro, that doesn't mean anything, you know? It's like, it doesn't have to do with anything, you know? They can call things whatever they want. They can call the door to the sticky note room Charlie door, and they can label the princess and Princess Quest as Cassidy. It doesn't necessarily mean anything, you know? It's just, just how they want to do it. They want to call that the true ending, they can, but obviously it wasn't. And then I saw another thing that was, like, strange. It was like, who says that Ruin is a continuation of the canon storyline? Which blows my mind. It's like, why would they make a DLC that's not following the canon storyline, right? Why go off into an alternate kind of thing? So I didn't quite understand that. Is there going to be an end credit? End credit? End credit? None. Okay. So yeah, in the original ending, Roxy says Cassie, which I assume meant that we're still alive, right? That's what the consensus seems to be. Anyway, people are like freaking out over which ending is canon. I have to go with the thought that the Princess Quest good ending is canon, right? That's the way I'm going with this. It's what I believe in. I knew that the Afton ending was not canon. It just couldn't be. With what I saw from Ruin, from the trailer, I was like, they're obviously going a different route with this. It can't be this. Many people pointed out and kind of drew the same, you know, connections as I did about how the comics that you see are they're literally comics. It's just Gregory drawing stuff that shows that the endings are not canon. And they pointed out how the Afton ending was one of those comics. And I was like, yes, that's good. So people are understanding that. So yeah, people were fighting over that, and I gotta say that it would make sense for the Save Vanny ending to be like the canon one, because Gregory's out, right? So there's only a few where Gregory actually escapes, and the Afton ending is one of them. The Doc's ending is one of them, but that's not canon. Him escaping the bad ending is one of them, but that's not canon. We saw it. Apparently the VIP ending he does escape, but we saw the drawing, so it's not canon. Same with the Afton ending. We saw the drawing, so it's not canon. So the only other one where he escapes is the good ending. That and the Disassemble Vanny ending, but I don't know how we feel about that. It seems that with the Princess Quest, with the sword in the arcade machine, to me, that symbolizes that it was done, right? It was like, it was conquered. And then when you take off the mask, it's the little lantern, which kind of shows that like that was done. You know, it's like that was over with. So to me, that states that Princess Quest was played. Also, the fact that Princess Quest 1 I think it's 1. When you put on the Banny mask, it like glows, but it's broken, right? You can't play it. It's done for, as in like it was already completed. That's at least the way I see it. So yeah, what I think is that the save Vanny good ending, that's canon because Freddy is there, but he's missing a head, and in that ending, you take Freddy's head, and you and Vanessa and Freddy, you're all chilling, eating ice cream, which is what that ending just was right now. It was us looking and seeing Gregory chilling with Helpy. I don't know why it was a little Helpy, but that could have just been symbolism for the little Freddy, and then Vanessa chilling, eating ice cream, which is how it was. So that might be confirmation that ending is true. I would assume that the bad ending of this is like of this ruin is the canon one, right? Like Gregory just dropping you and you presumably living, or at least something. So that would seem to be what's canon here. I doubt that one and the Scooper one are canon. I haven't seen the Scooper one, but I kind of know what happens, and it seems hard to get. I don't know. So yeah, that's kind of that. Um, and so the way I see it, the Candy Cadet story. I didn't piece it together as I was doing it because I was too worked up in the moment. But Candy Cadet was literally just telling Ruin, right? He said, the kid and the mother, they were living in the forest. The mother locked up the monster in the basement and would sing the lullaby to the kid. And then the monster mimicked the mother's lullaby and got the kid to let him out, right? Which is the same thing as Gregory, right, being the mother, the forest being the pizzaplex, the monster being the mimic. I'm assuming that's the mimic. Like that's it. I'm hoping that it's the mimic and not some other weird thing. So I just assume that's what it is. The Mexis, some might call it, right? The 5 Nights at Freddy's game universe version of the mimic. So yeah, so I would assume that the Mexis is the monster that Gregory locked in the basement, right? He kept it down there. He left. That was the whole point. They were like, nah, we're good. So he left. But that Mexis, the monster, mimicked the lullaby, which was Gregory crying for help, Cassie being the kid, and then Cassie opens the door, right? That's like, it's literally just telling Ruin. So we let him out, and that means that the bunny that we see, the glitchy bunny, is not Glitch Trap. It's not. It's the security protocol. Like, that's all it is. It's the security protocol that's working, and it's doing its job. And it's doing everything it can. It's calling animatronics to you, just like a normal security protocol would. It's trying to lock you out of the systems. It's doing everything in its power to try and stop you from disabling the security, because obviously it's not what you want to do, right? So that makes sense. That he's a good guy, which is what I was kind of saying in my last stream. I was kind of getting around to that point that he seemed like he was a good guy and not actually doing any harm. And same with the animatronics, really. I mean, Monty was a little aggressive, but like, Roxy wasn't after us. She was still after Gregory. And if this is anything to go off of, this explains Security Breach. Because in Security Breach, I've said this time and time again, but that was before all the Mimic stuff happened, which was that the animatronics weren't bad. They were doing their job, right? Because like the things they say, they're like, Gregory, your family's worried about you. Gregory, we just want to talk. Gregory, come out. We just want to like get you safe, get you home, right? Even Vanessa says that. She says it in the original trailer, but she still says it. We're gonna get you home to your family, to your parents. Let's get out of here. And that thing. Same with Freddy. He's trying to get you safe. The animatronics are only going after you because they see you as a security threat. They're not trying to get you for any other reason, which is kind of what seems to be. It just explains that. Like, it was just the security protocol that was happening. And obviously this is called Security Breach because you're the antagonist here. You're breaching the security. You're screwing things up, right? Gregory, for some reason, we don't know why still, he gets to the Pizzaplex and stays there. Presumably because he does something bad and the security guard is after him, so he hides in Freddy to get away from it. He's like, nah, I'm good. Freddy freaks out when he sees Crying Child or whatever happens, and all the animatronics are after him, not because they're possessed or anything, but just because they're following protocols, just like how weird blue glitching bunny was. And Gregory just said, nah, screw all that, breached the security, screwed stuff up, let Afton go, but he didn't. That's the thing. Also, Gregory knew kind of what was happening down there and was able to cut the lines. And he specifically, or the game specifically, cuts out the pronoun. He says, oh, somebody's with me. They know their way. Just use, and then it's like just use, and it blurs out, and it's like instructions. Like it blurs out whether it's her or his, because it could be talking about Freddy, could be talking about Vanessa, right? I would assume Vanessa because she was the security guard there, and she might know. But also Freddy cleared the path down there, so Freddy might be the one who would know, but I'm not sure. Or it could be some mystery other person. He could be talking about Afton. I don't know. But it seems like Gregory was an ally. I was right. I said Gregory is probably an ally. The real one is. He was like, you weren't supposed to be here. I'm sorry. But he was like, we have to play it safe. We can't risk the Mimic or the Mexis somehow following you up. It's like we just can't risk that, so like we have to go, and then cuts you down. It's like you have to stay there, right? So that kind of makes sense. Gregory's with people. He escaped. He was never there to begin with. Also, it seems so dilapidated that it would mean that the Afton ending is somewhat canon. But then there's the dilemma of Freddy saying, "This elevator can only take one ride down," and we take it again, which would tell me that things are different. What happens if I click on this? Chapter select?